my Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and crosswatchers. Welcome to your 8-card draw. What do you need? Shadow read for this full moon in Aquarius to new moon in Virgo, August 2023. I am your reader, fellow Earth sign Virgo that I am, Mark Angelo Lyons. Mal for short, they're my initials. Not bad, I'm just spelled that way. I'm a professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Join the Circle Productions, incorporated since 1998. 25 years in business, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle, link in the description box. It's in chakra chapters, chakras in this reading. The original version though, because it was apparently too much for Kindle, you can find that over on Patreon, patreon.com/drawing the circle. We've got a shop now, so you can actually purchase the original PDF EIEIO, but you can certainly preview a good chunk of it for free on Kindle. I'm getting my platforms confused again, it happens. There's a lot going on there over on Patreon. All of my subscribers, for example, get 3 benefits in common, and they keep giving us new stuff to do over there. They get a daily check-in with me every morning, pretty much, give or take, chatting about the astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications when I send them an unlisted YouTube live stream link, so you can literally chat with me. Always ending with a prayer, a blessing, a little something to send us on our way. Best way for me to start the day, considering this is what I do for a living. They also get all the extended readings, the part 2s to the part 1s here on YouTube. They're all relationship, timeless, twin flame, soulmate, true love, all them kind of raids. Yep, so they get all of them, past, present, and future. They also get an extensive discount on private sessions with me, spiritual counseling, and readings. We'll talk about it at the end of the video if you want to hang out for it. But I love it. They've also given us the availability of offering 7-day free trials. We have 2 of those set up right now. One for Seeker, our first level of subscription. One for Human, our second. And so come check us out for a week. A lot of fun, I don't lie. We're having a really good time over there, doing all sorts of cool creative stuff, and literally they just gave us a shop so that we can sell our digital merch. This is the coolest thing ever. So if you feel so called, if you feel so drawn, click the link and come Patreon on Patreon with the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. Maybe you've heard of him, but you can just call him Mal, referring to myself in third person again. It happens, and this is the last read of the day, so I'm not that shocked. So let's get down to business, shall we, my beloved Capricorns? First, some explanation for our new Capricorns and crosswatchers, and then we'll get to the divination. If you feel like jumping ahead, go ahead to the actual reading part of it, but we are going to be talking about the astrological weather of this 2-week waning moon from full to new in August 2023, and it's a doozy. So welcome if you are new to my channel. An 8-card draw, just to explain, is 1 card from 8 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about anything in particular, but like I said, we're doing it for a 2-week period, a timed rather than a timeless reading, from the full moon in Aquarius to new moon in Virgo, August 2023, to help you do the releasing, the letting go, the waning moon part of stuff. Because yes, we're starting with a rather powerful full moon. We'll talk about the astrology in a minute. But then after that very powerful full moon, when the moon runs at her peak, then your heart's desire seek, and then a couple of days after is when things start to let go, release, transform, to forgive, all the fun stuff we just love doing as human beings, though we are immortal souls, forgetting all of that to play the roles down here on planet Earth. So this reading is to help you let go, transform, do the shadow work, from shadow to light, lead to gold, the alchemy, 3 atoms in between lead and gold on the periodic table of elements, symbolically speaking, to help any of us, all of us, be happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser versions of ourselves by doing the forgiveness, the releasing, the letting go, the surrender, call it what you like, what I call a more golden timeline rather than leaded timeline, lead being more toxic, based in fear and the illusion of separation, and gold being the unconditional love unity of it all, the absolute truth of what we are and who we are. And so let's look at this 2-week period, because we got 2 healing systems, Caroline Myss archetype cards and Matt Kahn healing mantra deck. They will bookend this. 2 tarot decks, one for the chakras on the inside, one for the chakras on the outside. Whispers of Lord Ganesh to help remove obstacles of those 3 atoms in between lead and gold. And then we're doing animal, vegetable, and mineral, divine animals oracle, magical herb oracle, crystal oracle. And, of course, we will put it all together with a blessimation at the end of the reading. So let's, look at this rather interesting and tricky 2-week period. Like I said, full moon in Aquarius, Tuesday, August 1st. That is also a high holy day called Lughnasadh or Lammas or Loafmas. It's been celebrated around the world for a very long time, and different cultures call it different names. It is midsummer, literally, astrologically, in between summer solstice and autumnal or fall equinox. So halfway through summer, folks, August 1st, although it's not on August 1st, but we'll talk about that. So look, a full moon on a high holy day, what's not to love? It's going to be very, very powerful, I'll say that for sure. On a Monday, however, 2:32 p.m. I'll wait till the evening to do what I gotta do. Oh yeah, I'm working. I will be working at that time. When the moon rides at her peak, then your heart's desire seek. Then you can do the letting go, the releasing, preparing us for a tricky new moon. A new moon, Wednesday, August 16th, goes void, of course, at the same time that it hits its new moon positioning at 5:38 a.m. Eastern, and I'm not going to be awake for that anyway. It does go into Virgo at 7:14 p.m. Eastern. I recommend, if you're going to plant a seed for the new moon, those are the 5 card draws that I do on the channel, to plant a seed, watch it grow, the beautiful nutifuls, I call them. You got a better shot doing that when the moon is in Virgo. I'm a Virgo, but particularly as an earth sign, it's going to trine you, and I will have the 5 card draws out before that happens. In between those 2 dates, one is interesting and lovely, the other one's problematic. Monday, August 7th is the actual astrological cross quarter of Lughnasadh, Lammas, Loafmas, midsummer, when the sun is at 15 degrees Leo, halfway through the sign of Leo. That is the day. So that's when I do my personal stuff. I'll do August 1st, August 2nd for the public stuff, that's fine, but I'm always looking for my Virgo precision. What's the exact day where that goes down? So I look it up. The other thing that's a little tricky and a little problematic has been going on for about a week or so and will continue for a while. Chiron, the wounded healer, an asteroid in your natal chart, everybody's got it somewhere, is retrograde in Aries. Womp womp. I mean, inner child work galore, right? Childhood issues, childhood traumas, childish behavior, all giving us the opportunity in a retrograde to heal. So I'm going to say the shadow work, probably a big deal for the rest of this year, because it's like I said, it's already retrograde in July 2023, and it goes direct December 23rd. Happy holidays! But it could be if you alchemize the shadow to light, the lead to gold, the pain to peace, the toxic to healthy, the blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying. Good? So yeah, I guess that's about it. That's enough explanation for me. I hope it's enough for you. Go watch any of the other videos. I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. But cross-watchers in particular, all of you, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, check your other signs. It's a general read, like every other general read on YouTube. And cross-watchers really do have the opportunity to get some insight, empathy, sympathy, and understanding for the Capricorn they are cross-watching for, as well as some opportunities here, particularly with the Matt Kahn healing mantra, to maybe help them release, let go, become a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser version of themselves for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world for all of us. Yeah. Unity. U-N-I-T-Y. So, let's get down to it. I think it's enough explanation. Let's get into the divination. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I promise you I will do my best to help anyone shift their shadow to light, light to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, illusion to truth in a time when the planet desperately needs that, right? Because if we see we're one with everything, I don't know, I think pollution and crime and all that war stuff would pretty much stop on a dime. But it's a more gradual process. Slow and steady wins the race, right, fellow Earth signs? And we've been working on this for a lifetime. So, let's do that. We'll make the shift from explanation to divination in the still point repeatedly. You'll see me do it throughout if you're new. See if you can catch when it happens. It's a little obvious. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Pantheonic override. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine. For the Capricorn collective, there you are. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, please, beloved ones, using the Caroline Myss archetype cards. What is the dominant archetype hovering over the head of the Capricorns and the cross-watchers in their 8th chakras, determining the shadow work, the soul power being alchemized from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, this full moon in Aquarius to new moon in Virgo, August 2023. The Martyr. It's in the title, which means very few of you are watching this. But the Martyr is an incredibly powerful archetype in its gold, and I think it's a good example of how to show that archetypes are neutral, right? You can't not immediately embrace the gold, the light aspect of the Martyr. If you've never heard it before or encountered it, we're more used to the shadow. So the shadow attribute for the Martyr is addiction to self-pity. Right? It happens. We all have days, we all have moments, but archetypes happen for reasons, seasons, or lifetimes. So either you are dealing with this reason, season, or lifetime, or you are dealing with somebody who has this reason, season, or lifetime, but it is still your lesson, your healing, your opportunity for alchemy here and shadow work. The light attribute just is lovely, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. I say to oneself and a cause because as we heal ourselves, we help everyone heal. That's just how unity works. And I will be honest with you, I'm self-employed. It's very easy for me to slip into martyr mode. I was raised with it. I'm Generation X, right? So I was definitely exposed to that archetype as a child, but I'm a hedonist at heart. The hedonist and the martyr don't necessarily vibe well unless there is a higher service in play there, and I have brought myself to that. So when I am feeling a little, you know, I will just go into spiritual practice. This is a divine family archetype of the 9 different families. So we are looking at spiritual and mystical power here. But let's see how that plays out with the next 7 cards. The chakras underneath that. So this is hovering over your head. It's sending the codes, the program, down to all of the other chakras, shifting what we attract and what we repel so that we have the opportunity, the free will, to no longer delay what cannot be prevented in terms of our own spiritual development. We can keep reincarnating over and over and over again, but that's what's kind of great about this time that we're in. We have access to ways of perhaps catalyzing, speeding up, or at least not delaying what can't be prevented. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Goddesses override. Using the Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the heart, throat, third eye, crown, chakric zone, the internal world, the yin-ternal world, the feminine energy, the goddess energy, using Daughters of the Moon Tarot. I call upon my beloved goddesses of Earth, the sign of Capricorn, powers of the North. Please, beloved goddesses of Cardinal Earth, creative Earth, the mountain goat, and all of that. What is your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your powerful message to help the Capricorns alchemize the Martyr this full to new? A court card. When you get a court card on the inner, it talks about certainly the sign indicated. This is Taurus, the Great Corn Mother. My mom's a teacher. I grew up hearing stories about the Great Corn Mother. Live on Long Island. We traveled a lot and saw a lot as kids. With indigenous tribes. Quite a beautiful experience to be exposed to as a child. So the Great Corn Mother is sort of the Demeter of the indigenous peoples of the Americas. From tribe to tribe, the name may change, but it is the fertile fixed earth, right? Taurus. So if you have any planets in Taurus, have a look in your chart, see what's going on there. That could be an additional clue, tip, and hint to make a general read more specific for you. But it is about life values, regardless. Even if nobody involved in your situation has any planets in Taurus, this is about that foundational stuff that is of most importance to us, what we value. Yes, certainly. People say, oh, money and prosperity and durable goods. Absolutely, we value them. The car, the house. But what about your health, about your mental health, right? What about honor? What about truth? What about, you know, all of those, what are the words, ephemeral, perhaps hard to bring into concrete form things that we really value. Friendship, right? Fertile earth through which you can feed people. So there is probably a service in here, but it's really about you aligning, getting in touch with the wisdom earth on the inside. Is not about internal organs. This ain't about your liver, unless it is. I doubt it, though. It's about, from the experience you gained in the outside world, that wealth of wisdom that cannot be taken from you because you chose, right? You chose to do it, and you have gained as a result of that experience. All right. Lower 3 chakras, relationships in the physical world, the yang masculine dynamic. We'll use the mythic tarot. Outside, looking at yourself, or from the inside, you looking out at people, places, and things, including your relationship to yourself in the world, who you want to be, your honor code, what you value and what you don't, and the choices and decisions that can very easily make the difference between lead and gold in a martyr situation. Please take a nice deep breath. Oh, feels so good. Still point. My God's override. As I call upon my gods of earth, the sign of Capricorn, powers of the north, please, beloved, gods of cardinal, creative earth, the mountain goat, climbing it step by step, 10th house, highest potential, not just our highest potential. What is your guidance, your grace, your love, your wise, powerful message here to help the Capricorn Collective and the Cross Watchers alchemize the Martyr this full to new? 5 of Swords. Often about bickering, or at least a changing of mind. Numerologically, 5s are numbers of change, following the stability of the 4 and making the transition to the balance of the 6. Certainly, there can be some mental conflict going on here. Not so much the confusion. I'm not getting confusion on this, like too much information. That happens later in the Swords, perhaps. But there could be a dialogue going on here, either you with a martyr or someone pushing your martyr buttons like crazy. Now, that's why you being grounded and centered, you know, if we were going to give this a chakra, I would say certainly heart chakra, right? The things that you value in your heart that are most important to you. And if they're not being discussed here, which I can't imagine they wouldn't be, honestly, then usually you don't get to that 5 of Swords. It's not much of a disagreement. This could be someone trying to change somebody's mind about something, but it's definitely element of air. And there's been a lot of element of air in these shadow reads in terms of the lower 3 chakras. I've just noticed that. I write them all down anyway because I have to come up with the title with under 100 characters. Good luck with that. I'm going to be all sorts of creative. But to really come from a place of that value on the inside, right? To really make sure that you are minding your boundaries. Oh, look at me crossing my solar plexus, right? Where we store our honor code, that you're being honorable. And that if you are, you know, addicted to self-pity, there is a biological connection, a literally chemical connection, biophysical, with every emotion that we have. So it is very easy to get addicted to an emotion because they have a chemical basis in the body. They just do. What the bleep do we know? If you've ever watched it, I'm sure you could find a version of it for free on YouTube. Quantum physics and the biochemistry of emotions and all of that. So let's keep going. As a chakric spread, this has a little bit of mystery, as it would with a divine family archetype most of the time. So let's talk to Lord Ganesh through the whispers of Lord Ganesh, Angela Hartfield, the Hindu elephant-headed god of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles. And those obstacles we're talking about are those 3 atoms in between lead and gold. Now, they just dropped this into my head. If you don't consider yourself a martyr at all, well, sometimes we're like, oh, it's so disgusting, means we have it, but we don't want to acknowledge it. That's Caroline Mace, MYSS, PhD. I'm just repeating what she said. Don't come for me. I'm rhyming. Oh, shit. You could be dealing with this with somebody else for certain here. So to stay really grounded in that life value stuff, particularly if this is someone that you care about. Anyway, Ganesh, please take a nice deep breath. Oh, it's so relaxing. Still point. Ganesh, override. As I call upon the beloved Lord Ganesh, God of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, please, beloved one. I mean, definitely an earth element for an elephant element. Please, beloved one card in clarity. For our Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Signs, and Cross Watchers watching this video drawn to this reading, what is your guidance, your grace, your loving, wise, powerful oracle message to help the Capricorns alchemize the martyr archetype from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, illusion to truth, this full to new? Childlike expression. This is the inner child one. And like I said, Chiron, the wounded healer, retrograde in Aries, the child of the zodiac, with the great corn mother on the inside. This could be, I'm going to say this is an inner child read just because that card is there, but I am going to say inner child work, though it has been made fun of in some rather toxic ways, is actually a brilliant and somewhat simple form of shadow work, spiritual alchemy, but simple need not imply easy. Let me read this for you. Childlike expression, card number 12. Here we go. In truth, within every soul exists an aspect known as the inner child. You can champion your inner child. There, I can read that. The light's good today. You can champion your inner child's emotional life by listening carefully to what you need and want in your own heart. Stick a pin in that. What leads to martyrdom? When we work and we serve, I do, and I do for you people. I heard that all the time growing up. Oh, I do, and I do for you people. What do I get? Nothing, right? Because we're not fulfilling our own desires, or we're not even letting ourselves hear them, let alone voice them to anyone else. You may have been taught to give up on your own desires for the sake of others. You may have been taught to give up your own desires for the sake of others. This is not necessary. Ganesh is bringing the guidance that not acknowledging your desires and needs takes away from your life force and defeats your spirit. That's what gets you addicted to self-pity. It's a lead addiction, because that's what we're taught. And it's written into the game. Yes, your parents, society, your teachers, all of that, so what? We're all immortal souls, and we all have that inner child. And Matt Kahn says there's only one inner child, and it's all in our hearts. So, again, Chiron retrograde till December 23rd. As a child, you are a sensory expert. It is now time to re-stimulate your inner child's ability to look, listen, touch, and explore the world in order to reconnect with your emotions, which may very much be of value to you, maybe to protect them from others, could be, with that great corn mother there. Practice using your inner knowing or senses. Give your inner child love and a voice. Express your true feelings. Connect deeply to yourself on an emotional level by allowing all of your uncomfortable feelings to reach to the surface of your awareness and be seen and experienced. Shadow work. That's why, I mean, there really isn't that much of a difference. It's just the method of inner child work versus, I don't know, rebirthing, which is still kind of inner child work. So many ways to do it, though. Find patience and joy in simple things. Take a step away from acquiring material things. Oh my god, we're saying that to a Capricorn? And take pleasure in the wisdom of your own soul. Love, respect, and honor your inner child. Allow time for play in whatever mode that pleases you, be it socializing, singing, yoga, travel, taking a walk. Mine's talking, dancing, meditating, or writing. This is how your inner child operates. It knows no boundaries, holds no expectations, and loves unconditionally. Now, here's the thing. I worked with a brilliant woman by the name of Ralphie Finn. I believe she was related to Mama Cass, if I remember correctly. And she did this workshop, God, this is back in the 90s at Pillars of Light in Huntington, called the Divine Child. Something about the Divine Child. But she did talk about the inner child as this fog around the Divine Child, right? Like how on a overcast day you can't see the sun. That child is completely intact underneath it all. We're really lovely underneath it all. But it is that stress, right? That fear, that pain, that lead, like an insulator, keeping that golden light from coming out. So, highly recommend it. I mean, look, there's a lot of ways to engage the inner child. Matt Kahn says, just talk to your heart chakra. He's not wrong. I've done it and brought tears of healing and joy to my eyes. So, I'm going to go with that as an intuitive yes. But, mileage may vary. Location, location, location. We're going to do animal, vegetable, and mineral now. Divine Animals Oracle. Everyone has spirit guides, spirit animals, and totems, and all that stuff. Let's see who's here to help. Please take a nice deep breath. And Capricorns get younger as they grow older. Right, that more childlike innocence does come out over time. Still point. Totemic override. As I call upon the spirit animals and totems for the Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers, watching this video drawn to this reading, who walks with them, who swims with them, who flies with them, who crawls with them, offering them the guidance, the grace, the loving, powerful oracle message to help them alchemize the martyr archetype, this full to new. Nevermore. I got the Raven. Nevermore. News. Not to be confused with olds. News. Brah. We've got some serious ravens here on Long Island. Well, the Long Island Ravens, but you've got to be local and have a certain inclination to know that reference. We just made somebody from Long Island spit out their coffee. Card number 23. This card does not come up all that often, actually. News. Now look how people martyr themselves over news that's not even their own. The Raven. Keep your senses about you. News or a significant announcement is coming. Do not believe everything you hear unless it is from reputable sources. Gather information and guidance before making decisions. We can stride through other worlds, not just this one, in order to understand our nature. I think I'm feeling a little Odin on this one. Yup! Raven magic, in this case, Norse Satyr. It's S-C-I-D-R. It's tricky. I'm a quarter Sicilian. I don't know how to say that. I've got some Black Forest German in me, too, though. Satyr Raven magic is trance-like a news gathering. Ravens here are used as magical messengers going between the worlds, gathering guidance and information. If we think about Odin's process of sending his thoughts and memory out into the world, then we can see the essence of the shamanic act of sending oneself out to other realms for guidance or healing. Raven energy is useful in divination of all kinds and shamanic astral travel. Now, I've been practicing that on and off my whole life. I started really young with subliminal audio cassettes, can you imagine? OBEs, EIEIOs, and all of that. Oh, lovely. Let's go have a Obi-Wan Kenobi. Raven magic, however, it is the bird of magic. It is quite an intelligent bird. They have senses of humor as well as vengeful spirits if they don't like you. Same with crows, by the way, here on Long Island. There's a difference. If you can't tell if it's a crow or a raven, think scale, because ravens are huge. The guy on YouTube, he's great. Cracks me up, shorts and whatnot. So look, whatever news is coming in here, if you have to go all astral to find out what's going on, I get it. I would just really verify before taking action with this Five of Swords here, particularly if your child does not feel safe. I will say this about the child archetype, slightly different than the inner child. The child archetype, if it feels safe, it's up for everything, right? Can see the world with clear eyes, it feels safe. But if it doesn't feel safe, you can take it to its happiest place and it will tantrum and freak out and not want to do anything. So be careful of the news that comes in, or at least verify, because just the change in gas prices I heard about today, I could feel the martyr. Oh my God, here we go again, right? And it is a martyrdom thing there, because it's it can be part of a larger complaint-based addiction that we have here on this world. And yes, most addictions start off as coping mechanisms that do not go well if they're just delaying the process. And your childlike expression is not going to want to run head-on into the shadow work, the pain, any bad news that's going on here. So make sure your own interior wisdom says, yeah, even if it is that, we've lived through this before, kid. I love you. Notice how I automatically put my hand on my heart? That's because of Matt Kahn. I love him. He's amazing. If I ever meet him, I just want to hug him and pat him on the head. He's so cute. Hi, Matt. Really tall. He's not. It's okay. Life would be boring if we were all alike, don't you think? Yeah, I don't think we need more than one of me on the planet at the mo. Whatever. So look, whatever news this is, inner, outer, astral, spiritual, remember this is a divine family archetype. Perhaps you can rise above this, getting that there is a service for you here and to yourself as well. Not just given, but received. Got it? Okay. Let's go to vegetable, then mineral. We're going to use the Magical Herb Oracle and the Crystal Oracle, both from the same being, entity, my Archangel Ariel. We all have a personal archangelic lineage. I just happen to know mine because I asked. And when you hear the prayer, you'll see why. Please take a nice deep breath. And no, she's not a little mermaid. I hate that. Sort of. Still point. My beloved Ariel, override. Using the Magical Herb Oracle, I call upon my beloved Archangel Ariel, one of the archangels of the North powers of Earth. Hence the Magical Herb Oracle, great Archangel of Lyons, Archangel of Wealth, Archangel of Nature, beloved one, what is your guidance, your grace, your loving, wise, empowered oracle message to help the Capricorn Collective and their cross-watchers alchemize the Martyr archetype from shadow light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, this fear to love, using the vegetable kingdom here, this full to new, compassion, marshmallow, like the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man. Here, Pooch. It's my favorite line of that movie. Here, Pooch. Card number 12, Marshmallow, Compassion. I opened right to it. You saw I wasn't even looking, right? Go rewind, you'll see. Oracle meaning, trust your inner feelings and let them lead you a little more strongly, like a Taurus, maybe? Spiritual energy will be very high, so perhaps fulfillment or illumination in this aspect of life will be easier to obtain. This is a time of giving, of looking out for others, and taking a more supportive role, which certainly speaks to the golden side of the Martyr, and you have the strength and the foundation to do it on the inner. But what's this Five of Swords about? Remember that the more you give, the more you will receive, and in ways that may be not apparent in the first instance, meaning that you give it, but you don't know how it's going to come back. Listen more than you talk, give more than you take, and bend a little more than usual. Look, this could be you are in a supportive role. A boss, a mom, a dad, whatever, right? Maybe just with friends or a good friend, where you are their support system. You help them with that. And what's going to get you through this is the childlike expression, that innocence at your core, so that you can get, oh, I'm feeling martyred. Oh, I'm feeling like a little martyry. I must be not listening to my desires. Okay, baby, what do you want? Now, when I do that, it says, cookies. I go, I know. I can eat an entire bag of Chips Ahoy in one sitting. That's why I don't have them in the house, right? That's why I go to my mom's in Saratoga and she loads me up on really good dark chocolate everything, right? That's okay. She's my mom. She's allowed. I won't do that to myself. So, to say, well, what is it that you really want? Why the cookies? Like, because I'm tired and I never get my way. Oh, sweetheart, I'm sorry. All right, what do you want? You want to watch some Looney Tunes, right? You want to Netflix ourselves? Let's go watch some anime, right? I wish they'd bring Kill La Kill back. It's one of my favorites. So that compassion for yourself, which of course is going to then flow outwards, right? Compassion is the combination of love and wisdom. It really is, if you think about it. It's not martyrdom. It's saying everybody has pain. I've got my own. I will do the best I can to deal with mine, right, in the most innocent way that I can, with in alignment with my life values on the inside, and perhaps a tricky conversation or series of conversations here regarding the news, which, let's move on. I think some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Compassion. There are none so blind as those who shall not see. Yeah, says both sides of the aisle, pointing the finger. So let's get the crystal oracle. If you have the stone indicated, I'm always going to say it's a good opportunity for an amulet, a touchstone, a memory rock, something to remind you. Cross-watchers, stick it in a piece of jewelry or a clear quartz if you don't have it. The healing mantra, I mean. Because particularly, you put it in a clear quartz, it's just going to amplify and refine it every time you do it. Let's ask Ariel again. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. My beloved Archangel Ariel. Beloved one, please. One card in clarity. From the Crystal Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno, what is your guidance, your grace, your loving, wise, powerful oracle message to help the Capricorn Collective and their crosswatchers alchemize the martyr archetype from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, illusion to truth, this full to new, rutilated quartz? I have an affair. I have a long relationship with rutilated quartz, and when I read you from the Boogie Book, you will see why. This is about reconciliation and about vibrational healing. And that's my torch of Archangel Ariel that was gifted to me by a Sicilian mother from Lynbrook when I used to read her family back in the 90s and the early 2000s. You take those gifts when they come. You absolutely do. Where are we? The rutilated QRS rhodonite rose quartz ruby and rutilated quartz. Oh, how rutilated quartz of you. Vibrational healing, higher mind, which is the mind of your higher self, and reconciliation. You are subconsciously receiving loving vibrations and loving thoughts from someone connected to your past. Did somebody have a political argument in the circle of family and friends or something? It's happening a lot. Yeah. An episode or conflict that hurt you emotionally is now being healed and reconciled by the power of forgiveness and unconditional love. Over the coming days, you may find yourself emotionally and mentally reciprocating this love as you reflect on a person or past event. Through this mutual exchange of love, past wounds are now energetically being healed and all negative attachments resolved and released. This could very easily be about childhood stuff too, right? I mean, particularly if you were raised to suffer. It's a lot of us have. I mean, look, The wounds of Generation X, I can only speak for my own generation. Where I was born in 1968, I'm going to be 55 in September. Thwarpy, I know, I don't look at things. But, you know, we did drink out of hoses. We weren't allowed in the house, right? So even if we weren't abused, I mean, the wounds of neglect, right? So we don't have to do it all on my own. I have to go drink out of it. You know, it's written into the script before we incarnate. And remember, this is probably not your first incarnation this time around on this planet. Particularly if you're listening to this type of reading, right? But 99.9% of people on planet Earth would not give a rat's ass what shadow work even is, let alone dip a toe. So, yeah. So, rutilated quartz is a reason why I cherish it so much. By the way, the little golden rutiles, which is where it gets the name rutilated quartz, they used to be called angel's hair because they look like that. Well, not mine, because, you know, well, I call myself a brunette. Technically, I'm a rich black overtone, which is a very dark purple, and I'm not going back. Love overtone. Better than putting a lot of bleach in my hair. No thanks. Last card down. The Macon Healing Mantra. Wake up, cross-watchers. Here we go. Here's your shot. Work this mantra. Look, if you can't get a piece of rutilated quartz, no biggie. It shouldn't break the bank even, you know, if you can find one. But good old clear quartz will do, because it's more about that oracle message. But definitely, when when you get a piece of news about somebody in your Trigger McTrigger sense, starting to martyr yourself, this is the opportunity to do the healing with the Macon Healing Mantra. Please take a nice deep breath. Last card down. Still point. Ascended Masters override. As I call upon the Ascended Masters of the General Assembly on behalf of the Capricorn Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross-watchers watching this video and drawn to this reading, seeing what's going on the planet with children in this lifetime is just a fucking nightmare. But that's just because we can see it. It's been going on the planet for a very, 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 very long time. Abuse, neglect, codependence, and loss. So considering that is such a pivotal card message in this spread from Lord Ganesh, who is also an Ascended Master, I believe. One card in clarity, please. The Perfect Healing Mantra for the Capricorn Collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video, drawn to this reading. The Perfect Healing Mantra to help them alchemize the shadow to light, the lead to gold, the pain to peace, the toxic to healthy, the fear to love, the illusion to truth, with the Martyr in the 8th. Great Corn Mother, Mother of Pentacles, the Taurus vibe on the inner, 5 of Swords on the outer, removing obstacles with inner child work, with childlike expression, getting the help of the Raven. Ooh, maybe getting some messages, some news from the other side, but that can be very multidimensional, not just the ancestors and others who may have crossed over, but could be inspiring compassion here with Marshmallow, to be really, really clear that the compassion starts within and then it flows out. The other way around is usually faking it and absolutely leads to martyrdom, as we pour out our cup one time too many and left parched. And with that lovely reconciliation, vibrational healing, and seeing things from the higher mind of rutilated quartz, Ascended Masters give it to them, the Perfect Healing Mantra, to help them live a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser life as Capricorns, cardinal Earths, and of course their cross-watchers, this beautiful new, this full to new, August 2023, welcoming surrender. There is no problem. There is only destiny being fulfilled. There is no problem, only destiny being fulfilled. It's like I said. I say this in a lot of my readings because it's a decent metaphor. This world is a video game. It's all programmed in before we come in. I don't care what video game you're playing. If you're not allowed to grow wings in that game, you can try as much as you want. You're not going to grow wings. That's a different game, right? Different whatever, right? We don't get to choose the options. We get to choose from the options. So to see that, oh, this is led, fate, what I can't change, family perhaps, right, or something you just can't change right now, into destiny, gold, which is what you do with what you cannot change. So it's the last card. Last card here, welcoming surrender, meaning the last card in the book. There is no problem, only destiny being resolved. And I'll tell you right now, I have hung on to there is no problem, only destiny being resolved. There is no problem, only destiny being... I'm feline, right? You might want to headbutt people with your horns. When surrender is welcomed, welcome surrender. You are open to viewing life as a playground of the soul's evolution. You're no longer worried about what to do or where to go. Instead, you are following the gentle, peaceful flow of inner guidance. Now, doesn't that sound more like the simplicity of the childlike expression? Removing obstacles here. What might be a confusing, conflicting conversation. I'm alliterating all over the dining room today. In surrender, every personal conflict is handed over to Source so as not to distract from the prime objective of evolving your consciousness with the utmost sincerity, love, and compassion for all. And that's exactly what we have been saying. It's going over their heads. I do it all the time. I do prayers of surrender, rituals of surrender, very waning moon, are not passive. Not if you say, all right, I have no idea, do it through me, do it for me, I'll do my best, I don't know, right? That sort of innocence, the grace of humility. I start and end my book, Words of Grace, with that, because it is the last chapter about grace is specific. It's called the saving grace. Everybody has one, right? And humility is, I know that I don't know. That's why I can keep my sense of humor and I don't blow up, right? That's why I am the fun one and why I get away with so much, just saying. This mantra is ideal for eliminating resistance, dealing with anger, though I'm not necessarily seeing that here, and easing an overthinking mind. Well, you thought about it enough? Time to open the heart on this one. And look, if people are giving you a hard time, I mean, it's easy to feel like a martyr today, depending on your community or your alternative community, right? LGBTQIA+, or maybe you're in a town that does not support the truth of who you are in any way, shape, or form. Sooner or later, everyone's going to oh, there's only one of us here. Hopefully it won't be too late. But that's why these shadow reads are really important. And the hard part is, if they're coming for you, is to have compassion for them. But there is such a thing called ruthless compassion, and I refer to you to the goddess Kali. She's great fun. Let's watch out for that skirt. Yeah, so welcoming surrender. There's nothing wrong here. Yet, right? You need to surrender your POV and open point of view, not pigs or vampires, and to let that child come up, because there is going to be news coming in, but maybe shift from the horizontal news incoming and going to more of that astral, more of that divine, that totemic thing. Because Raven, for me, first, is a bird of magic. And magic is about change, and your definition of magic certainly will determine your experience of that. But magic for me, there are many, many different definitions, but it's the ability to change consciousness at will, according to Starhawk, which I know is not a raven, but you do your best. Avian metaphor. So let's put this together in a blessimation, as I mentioned earlier, and then we'll talk about readings and Patreon and stuff, but you never know. Sometimes, in fact, often lately, they've been showing me other stuff in this last a little bit after the blessimation. Please take a nice deep breath last time, I promise. Pantheonic override. And let us end as we began the last reading of the day. As I call upon the beloved collective pantheons of the divine for our beloved Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading. May they be blessed with all that they need to do the shadow work this full to new August 2023 by learning the transcendent nature of service to themselves and perhaps a cause as well, which I think I just kind of mentioned inadvertently there, by focusing on their life values inside of them, their bedrock core values, truth, honesty, love, truth, did I mention truth, right? Particularly with news, innocence, and compassion in what might be a tricky, sticky situation, but it's only a 5. Minor arcanas don't last forever. They're not major, they're minor. So if we're going to give this a chakra, this could be second chakra, one-on-one dealing with another person, root chakra dealing with a whole bunch of people, or maybe just them holding their own space, keeping their boundaries, maybe speaking less and listening more here, allowing the child to stay in their innocence and allowing that child to speak maybe in private, maybe in a boundaried way there, of what their heart's desires, what it is that they want out of the situation, which is a good way to avoid getting into martyrdom in the first place, because the child knows that it does not know, so it can be taught. That's very Course in Miracles there, particularly with the magic of the raven, bringing them news, both inner and outer, it would seem here. Little clues, tips, hints along the way there, in order for them to embrace the marshmallow of compassion for themselves, for others. As the Ashaya monk said to me once, it's a back and forth, selfless compassion, which if you do too much, you end up bitter and alone and martyring, or selfish compassion, which ends you up alone and narcissistic, as we go back and forth until we find that balance, bringing in the rutilated quartz vibration of the higher mind, vibrational healing, and reconciliation. Because what do you do if the person who abused, neglected, codependence, or they lost is no longer on the planet? You can absolutely call upon the crow with some rutilated quartz vibe to get that it's okay to welcome surrender, because there is no problem in play here, only destiny being fulfilled. But destiny comes by embracing our fate, the lead, the fear, the shadow, and moving it forward step by step, breath by breath, alchemizing it into the gold. So may they be blessed, my beloved Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers out there, with all that they need to heal, to grow, to learn, to evolve, to do the shadow work, the alchemy from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, illusion to truth, to be the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest versions of themselves, for their well-being, for the well-being of their loved ones, for the well-being of nature, for the well-being of society, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So let it be. And so it is. It was a good one. I'm just glad it's the childlike expression card there, because it's amazing. And it was made fun of so much in her child work, because people were really talking, my inner child doesn't like you. I'm like, your inner child's an asshole, alright? It's not your inner child, it's your ego. So, go deeper, definitely. Or at least check it out, Google it, right? You'll see Sandra Ray, Leonard Orr, Rebirthing, my god, there's a lot of stuff in there. The Inner Child Homecoming, forgot his name, great book, he was on Oprah. John Bradshaw, thank you, Spirit Guides. Well, it's probably Wayne Dyer. So I hope you enjoyed the reading, and if you did, I hope you liked the new music, Underworld Catwalk by Jenna Grace Alvarado, putting together an album. She wants me to sing on it, I will. I got a good voice, I was trained. But more important than that, if you enjoyed this reading, certainly hit the thumbs up, help other people find it. That's what algorithms do, but there are no algorithms on Patreon, which is why I love it so very much. We got a shop now. You can literally click the link and check out what we're selling over there. It's all digital content. You download as you go, as you like. But all of my subscribers, regardless of subscription, get the daily check-ins, the extended readings, and the extensive discount. Remember, we have 2 7-day free trials. If you want to dip a toe, bail before the last day, it's fine. But if you want the extended, if you want the extensive discount on readings, that you need to be a subscriber for. So just wait till the 8th day, $3 or $5, do it once, you get your discount, but other than that, if you want to book me for a private reading anyway, there is a video link in the description box. Booking private sessions with Mal. I redid it for the 25th anniversary when I finally raised my prices after 25 years in service as an S-Corp, so the video does explain it all, the price structure, spiritual counseling, readings, Zoom recorded, I travel, you travel, we figure that out. Video explains it all in about 11 minutes, and my mom loves it, so we're keeping it. Makes me laugh too. I say over and over again, I've never turned anybody away because of lack of funds, because the gods would snatch away my intuitive skills overnight, and I'm not ready for that. I don't want that to happen. Talk about life values. But you could also go to my website, drawingthecircle.com. Just go to the store, usually somewhere over here on a laptop. click on it and you'll see spiritual counseling, reading packages, and lots of other stuff there so you can see it in writing. There are bar graphs involved because I am a Virgo to make it easier to read, but the video does it all for you too. So thank you so much for watching. I love Capricorns. I say it every Capricorn reading. I have a major crush on Capricorn vibes. I like that dependable thing. I'm a Virgo, but with a Pisces moon, so I like watching them get younger as they grow older. Yeah, they go from Eeyore to Tigger, step by step by step, but I was born Tigger. I don't think I'm going back, Archangel Ariel. So thank you so much for watching you. I think you guys have got this, but if you need help, reach out. I am here to help, because I don't martyr anymore. I party, not martyr, and not that way. No thanks, Tita. Wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed, my beloved Capricorns. Hang in there, climb that mountain step by step, and remember, you're not alone. We're here for you. Hang in there. Heal, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.